Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I'm going to read S2 2262. Amelia, Bedelia, and the Surprise Shower by Peggy Parrish. There was a knock on the back door. Come in, called Amelia Bedelia. She opened the door. Oh, it's you, Cousin Alculu, she said. Do come in. Mrs. Rogers asked me to help out today, said Alculu. Is she having a party or something? Every Tuesday, said Amelia Bedelia. Some ladies get together. They just sew and talk. But today Miss Elma is in for a real surprise. Those other ladies are giving Miss Elma a shower. A shower? Said Alculu. A surprise shower, said Amelia Bedelia. Why would they do that to her? Asked Alculu. Miss Elma is nice. I don't know, said Amelia Bedelia. She is about to get married. They should do something nice for her. She can give herself a shower. Your folks do have funny ways, said Alculu. Say, are you cooking something? My cupcake, said Amelia Bedelia. She ran to the oven. Just right, she said. They need to cool a bit, then I'll ice them. Mr. Rogers came in. Good morning, Amelia Bedelia. Good morning, Alculu, said Mr. Rogers. My, what a nice lot of fish, said Amelia Bedelia. They should taste good, said Mr. Rogers. Please scale them and ice them. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. Say, Mr. Rogers, did you ever hear of giving somebody a surprise shower? Oh, yes, said Mr. Rogers. It's like a surprise party, and they shower the person with gift. That's why they call it a shower. Mr. Rogers looked at his watch. I have to go to town, he said. Mr. Rogers left the kitchen. By the way, Amelia Bedelia, said Alculu, Mr. told me to prune the hedge. Could you show me how? I would be glad to, said Amelia Bedelia. She went to the cupboard. She took out a box of prunes. They went to the hedge. Now, said Amelia Bedelia, you take a prune and stick it on like this. Is that all there is to it? Asked Alculu. Prune it well, said Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Rogers liked things done right. She went into the kitchen. Oh, I plumb forgot my cupcakes, she said, and I must make that chocolate icing. Amelia Bedelia put some of this and a little of that in a big pot. She stirred and she tasted the icing just right, she said. Amelia Bedelia began to ice her cake. The fish, she said, Mr. Rogers said to scale them and ice them. Got the scale, she piled the fish on them. There, she said, you just scale yourselves while I ice the cakes. Iced her cakes, those do look nice, she said. And there is enough icing left to ice the fish too. Amelia Bedelia picked up a fish by its tail. I hope you have scaled long enough, she said. She iced one side of the fish, then she iced the other side. Amelia Bedelia worked until the last fish was iced. That takes care of you, she said. Amelia Bedelia put the iced fish and the iced cakes in the cupboard. Mrs. Rogers came into the kitchen. Amelia Bedelia, use this tablecloth for the table, she said. Do run over it first with an iron, and we need some cut flowers, said Mrs. Rogers. She went out the back door. She unfolded the tablecloth. She put it on the floor. Then Amelia Bedelia got the iron, and she went all over that cloth. Amelia Bedelia put the tablecloth on the table. Alculu came over to Amelia Bedelia. That takes care of that, he said. I even have some prunes left, so I pruned the other bushes too. That does look nice, she said. Mrs. Rogers will be mighty pleased. Amelia Bedelia and Alculu met Mrs. Rogers at the back door. Mrs. Rogers came in with a bunch of flowers. She put them on the kitchen table. Amelia Bedelia, she said, use the largest silver bowl for the cut flowers. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Rogers left the kitchen. She came right back with a basket of gifts. These are for Miss Alma's shower, she said. We will start sewing as we always do. Then when all the ladies are here, we will say surprise, then comes the shower. Can you and Alcolo take care of everything? Oh yes, said Amelia Bedelia. We will see to everything. Those flowers are so pretty, it's a shame to cut them. She said, cut flowers. Said Alcolo, let me help you. So Amelia, Bedelia, and Alcolo fixed a bowl of cut flowers. We do have some figuring out to do. I thought those ladies were supposed to be giving this shower, and here we are giving it. If we had known, said, we could have fixed up something fancy. It's too late for them now. The two of them went outside. She saw the garden hose. Think that it'll do, asked Alculu. Well, it's not really a shower, said Amelia Bedelia, but it's the next best thing. I will give her the gift, and you can shower her. The gift will get wet. They are shower gift, said Amelia Bedelia. What if they do get wet? We will get wet too. Well, said Alculu, we can put on something else. What a good idea. Hide those gifts first, said Alculu. Hid the basket of gifts under some bushes. It's time to get ready, she said. A bit later, Amelia Bedelia heard the car stop. Here come the ladies, she called to Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers hurried out to meet them. Mrs. Ralph came first, and with her came her 4 children. Look, they shouted. Prunes on the hedge. The children went racing past. More and more ladies came. They began to sew. But Miss Alma did not come. Where is Miss Alma? Everybody asked, but nobody knew. Mrs. Rogers looked at the table. Footprints, said Amelia Bedelia. What did you do to that tablecloth? I ran over it with an iron, said Amelia Bedelia. Should I have taken my shoes off first? Oh, never mind, said Mrs. Rogers. Amelia Bedelia, where are the cut flowers? She asked. Oh my, I forgot them. She ran in and got the flowers. Mrs. Rogers looked at the bowl. Amelia Bedelia, she cried. What did you do to those flowers? I cut them. You said to fix a bowl of cut flowers. Just then Miss Alma drove up. Here she is, said the lady. Sorry to be late, said Miss Alma, but I have a headache. I'm sorry. You just sit down. Mrs. Rogers turned to Amelia Bedelia. Are you ready for the shower? She asked. We will need a minute or two. She called Alculu. They ran around back, and there stood Amelia Bedelia and Alculu in a bathing suit. All right, called Amelia Bedelia. We are ready. Then all the ladies shouted, surprise! Surprise, shouted Amelia Bedelia. She ran out with the gift. Dumped them on Miss Alma's lap. Here are the gifts. Alculu came right behind her with the hose, and here is the shower, he shouted. A shower, shower, screamed Mrs. Ralph's 4 children. They jumped into the shower with Miss Alma. All the ladies screamed too, and they jumped out of the shower. Miss Alma leaped up. The gift flew all over the place. How dare you, she shouted. Miss Alma was angry. She was very angry. Amelia Bedelia, Alculu, turn off that water this minute. Turned off the water. Did you see how mad Miss Alma was? I don't think she liked our shower. Maybe some hot tea will help her. Amelia Bedelia and Alculu went into the kitchen. They take the tea thing. You bring the cupcake. Here is the tea, said Amelia Bedelia. Thank goodness for that. The chocolate looks good, said Mrs. Ralph. Help yourself, said Mrs. Rogers. Helped herself to the biggest piece. She took a fork, tried to cut it. It wouldn't cut. Wanted the chocolate, so she picked it up and beat it up. Fish, raw fish. Mrs. Ralph was angry. She was very angry. Mrs. Rogers came out just then. He heard what Mrs. Ralph said. Fish, Amelia Bedelia, what did you do to my fish? Iced them. Now Mr. Rogers was angry too. Suddenly Miss Alma started laughing. Everybody. She jumped up and threw her arms around Amelia Bedelia. You are wonderful, said Miss Alma. My headache is all gone. That surprise shower was just what I needed. Mrs. Ralph laughed. Amelia Bedelia, did you prune the hedge? Cousin Alculu did that. Then he's wonderful too, said Mrs. Ralph. See how happy my children are. They have never been this good. And suddenly everybody was laughing. Mrs. Rogers began to pour the tea. Amelia and Bedelia served the chocolate cupcakes, and the lady said they were the best cakes they had ever eaten. That was so much fun, said all the lady, and they left some more. Then they helped pick up Miss Alma's gift. And they were still laughing when they left. The end.